Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rob Pop YouTube channel, your number one pit stop for all things Eurovision this year. And for the final time, we're about to turn our attentions towards a national final, and that comes to the one and only Melodifestivalen. That's right, every year on this channel, this will be the fourth year in a row, I react to the final of Sweden's national selection Melodifestivalen, which I have watched since, I'm going to say 2009, and was my first introduction to national finals as a concept. I've heard lots of hype for this. Sweden are number one in the odds. We've got past winners who are back. There is a lot to be excited about, and I have had to bury my head in the sand to avoid Måns' song, the Finnish Saunas song, all of which are just words to me, but I have no idea what they sound like, what they look like. I'm going in completely blind so I can react with you for the very first time. I have listened to some of the songs that got eliminated in the heats already. I may be lightly obsessed with Victoria's Segerstedt song, not because it's good, because it is campus tits and it is iconic.
I just go with the flow.
So I'm about to find out in this video of the finalists whether I hate it, I like it, or I love it. I reserve the right to quote that song throughout this whole video. I just go with the flow. But before we do begin, as ever, I know that you Swedes are a loyal bunch, so I would love to remind you to subscribe to this channel. We're making our way so nicely towards the end of all of the reveals for songs so far, and I'm going to be carrying on all the way through to May. So if you want to follow me along for a camp old time with a cup of tea as we go, hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and hit the bell for notifications every time I upload a video. Tusen tack, you know you want to. But I have no time to waste. We have 12 songs to race through and react to. I'm going in running order, which takes me from Lundvik all the way through to Kaj, K-A-J, not sure how you pronounce that. So let's go. This is song number 1. This is past winner Lundvik, back again with the song Voice of the Silent. Let's hit play, Sweden. Melody number 3. One thing I do always like about Lundvik, even if I don't always love the music, is the passion that he delivers lyrics with. I'm not sure what he's wearing. It's like a chic version of being set free from prison. This sounds how you expect it to so far. All of his songs just wind up feeling a bit like X Factor winning songs to me. Should I find this inspiring? Probably. Do I? Not really. I feel like this is one of his better entries though. I quite like the production on it. It's got like a nice pulsation behind it. As I say, the vocals are crisp, like he's always so on it vocally, so it's easy to see why he always makes the final. I actually do think this is one of his better entries. If it wasn't for the fact that he always enters something that's got this like faux inspiration on, I think I'd probably be more excited, but it's got a good energy behind it. It wouldn't make a bad entry, it's just not what I really want from Sweden, but he's doing a really good job with it. You know what, I actually liked that. I'm not going to be crazy about it. I'd be surprised if it wound up in my favourites of the evening. But I don't usually care about Lundvik. I kind of thought Too Late for Love was a bit overrated. And he always just kind of comes with that X Factor winning song that sounds like it's just written to be faux inspirational. This wasn't that different, but I did think it was more interesting than usual. It had quite a nice beat behind it.
I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
It had like a little 80s inspiration, and I did like the way it developed. Not crazy about it. Don't see it winning, don't see it lighting up the scoreboard at Eurovision or at Melodifestivalen. It makes up the numbers of the final. A good start, I think we will get better, but Jon always sounds great, and he sounded great here as well with a solid start, we'll put it at that. Okay, moving on to song number 2 now, and it is an artist that I've been wanting back for quite a few years now, and it is Dolly Style. Maybe I'm immature for getting excited about seeing them back, but they've never made the final before. So here they are, song number 2, they finally made it, so get your cowboy hats on. This is time for Yihaa. This is going to be campus tits, and I'm ready. I didn't know they had 4 members these days. This is a catchy chorus though. It's not hard to hear why Sweden are enjoying this. It is like someone asked AI to write a camp cowboy song, but I am enjoying it. The thing is, I remember last year thinking that Sweden's national final was just 12 different shades of beige. This might be uncompetitive, but it is much needed fun. This is the best part. Hey, let's go! I don't think I want this to win. I think it would be ripped to shreds at Eurovision, but I will get a lot of mileage out of this performance and song. I'll be listening to this a lot. Woo! I love their outfits as well, actually. I want some pants like that. Hook after hook after hook after hook. What a catchy song. And the kitchen! This has put me in such a good mood. Yeah!
And the Grammy goes to...
Dolly style.
That was so much fun. I actually went from thinking this is a guilty pleasure to just being like, this is actually fucking amazing. Oh my god, I loved that. It sounds like something that would have been a hit in like 1999. Am I mad for kind of being like, what would a world be like where Sweden actually sent this? I think this would do well at Eurovision. Am I mad for thinking that? It is so infectious. The joy that you feel from this is just palpable. I don't feel like you can watch this and not smile unless you're taking it too seriously. And melodically, it was immediate, it was so catchy, it had so many hooks. I'm gonna have giddy up in my head, the breakdown, the back on the horse. There's just so many different parts of it that are stuck in my head. I think this might be Dolly Style's best entry to date, even though I loved Hello High. This deserves to be in the final. This is the much needed fun that last year's Melodifestivalen didn't, that it honestly lacked. Giddy up! I'm ready for the next 10 songs now because that has given me the life that I needed. Come on, Dolly Style. Okay, moving on to song number 3 now, and we have a new entrant. Let's see what they've got to give. This is Greczula, I believe, and the song is Believe Me. Let's see if I do. Yes, my heart is pounding after Dolly Style. Great voice already. He's got a really classic voice, like an Adam Lambert kind of style to him. I'm getting like Elton John from this as well. Again, this is new for Sweden. I feel like they don't usually have stuff like this in their final. I'd like to see them switching it up. It just felt a little bit dated for me, rather than bringing like Elton or Queen into a new age. It just sounds a bit more like a Elton or Queen pastiche. He's selling it, so... Ooh, and a good body. He's got a really good stage presence as well, considering he's never performed at Melodifestivalen before. He's at ease on that stage. Great camera control, great stage control. A real showmanship. I think anthemic is the word. I'm liking the staging as well. It's less controlled than usual Sweden performance. This is interesting. I think I'm on board. It's very Queen, isn't it? Very Queen. I've got to say, I don't know if that will wind up being my favourite, but I am loving the differentiation in finalists this year. I was worried when we started with Young Lundvik because that song did sound very typical Melodifestivalen. I don't feel like we've heard something like this in the final of Melodifestivalen since, I don't know, like Bed on Fire, which was about 12 years ago. Loving the rock influence. It's definitely got like a Queen feel to it. At times I got like an Elton feel from it. You know, in Melodifestivalen we always have like these block shots and it's always like a light show and it's also like clean. I really enjoyed how they just let Greczula kind of just like take the stage. They just gave him a piano, some fireworks and said, you control the stage, and Greczula did it with ease. A real showmanship. A real raw musicianship as well, which we don't always see at Melodifestivalen. I don't think it does much to bring like the 80s into 2025. I feel like he could come back maybe even next year or in 2 years with a winner, because I definitely see a winner in him I don't know if the song is quite the winner for me, but I really like him, really like this vibe from Melodifestivalen, and what a great start. Sweden, you were actually exciting me a lot more than you did last year. This is a pickup in standard, I'd say. Okay, moving on to song number 4 now, and it is one of my most anticipated artists. I was really hoping she would come back this year, and she has. This is the icon that is Run to the Hills Queen, Klara Hammarstrom, and this time she's coming back for the 4th time with On and On and On. Please be great. I'm rooting for you, Klara. For Klara, that is a stripped back outfit. She's so gorgeous. She's genuinely like a young Agnieszka from ABBA. Loving the way this is building. It's got a nice like piano touch to it. Solid gold pop from Klara. She's got better as a performer as well. I used to think she was quite unconfident on stage, but she's bold with her movement now. And the vocals are good too. I'd like a stronger vocal on this chorus, but I really like the way the whole song goes. I think it's going to sound amazing in studio. Come on, Alice in Wonderland. Yes! Come on! Her performance ability has come on leaps and bounds. She's selling this to death. Yes! This feels like such a full 3 minutes. They've packed so much into a 3-minute song. It feels so full of oomph. That is Eurovision ready.
Oh, mother.
What a performer Klara has become in the last few years. I remember her first entry, Nobody. Really liked it. Thought she was potentially a bit nervous on stage and that stopped her making it. But to see where she is in 2025, she is killing that on stage. And what a great pop song. It kept bringing new elements throughout. And that's sometimes something you could criticize Sweden for. I feel like sometimes from like second 1 to the final minute, you can predict everything that's going to come. But this kept bringing in new elements. The way that like the piano would come in, the way that it sped up from a slow pace at the end up to a big crescendo and boom. Like I thought there was really interesting elements brought into it that made this more than just your typical Swedish pop song. This would do great at Eurovision. Does this stand a chance? I have no idea, but Klara has done herself so proud. I'm going to be playing this all year. What a song. What a song. Oh. Okay, moving swiftly on, we are going on to song number 5 now, and we are going to the Skull Queens themselves. We're about to get a little bit sweet and psycho. That is the name of the song. This is Scarlet. Let's hit play. Oh. I was questioning that whispery vocal at the beginning. I'm glad that someone else is coming with a bolder vocal. This is like 3 songs in one. I feel like last year I wanted to love them more than I did. That may be the case with this as well. I like what we've come to with the rock elements, but the verses in the chorus really didn't mesh at all. I love their image. I love this vocalist's attack. I'm torn on this. There's something a bit disjointed about it. This is a good chorus, but it feels like it's been ripped from a different song to the verses. I do like this chorus in isolation though. I like that it goes into a rocky element. It suits their image. Love this. The staging is great as well. The staging is really, really good. Sweet and psycho. It is getting stuck in my head. I do like this. I want to love it more than I do. Yes! I've got to hand it to them. That got better as it went along, and I do love their image. I do love the whole vibe of the staging. I love the rockier sound, and I think this was better than last year. I think these girls brings such a unique vibe to Melodifestivalen that we don't get from anyone else. I just wanted to love it more than I actually did. I thought there were parts that were disjointed, so as much as I did like the chorus and I did like the vibe, I like everything separately, but the way that it all came together at times did feel like a few different songs matched together and not in the best way. Sometimes that can be done in a way that you're like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming, that's amazing. Didn't get that with this. I thought it was a bit disjointed. A lot of great ideas, not all done perfectly. I still feel like these girls have like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 entry in them, and I don't want this to be the last time we see them. I could imagine them at Eurovision. I just still think this song has something missing to be the one that takes them there. So as much as I really do like it, I will be listening to it. I think what we've seen from, I would say, the last 3 songs is a more complete package. Okay, we're reaching the halfway mark now, so we're going to move on to song number 6, and that comes from Erik Segerstedt, former EMD member. This is Show Me What Love Is, and I'm excited to be shown. I think this is going to be very Coldplay, right? I can't help feel, after like the last 3, actually 4 songs, this is going to feel a bit less exciting to me. It's nice and it's well sung, solid radio pop. It's not blowing my mind though, and I doubt it's blowing yours. It's definitely very like easy listening, it's got a nice melody to it, he's singing it well. For me, this kind of like middle of the road, stadium, male pop, guitar pop, it's just not my thing. I do like the tune of it though, it's got a nice sort of like feel-good vibe about it. My mum would love this, my mum would vote for this, for sure. You know what, this is a good song, and it probably would do well at Eurovision, to be honest. Like, was he meant to sing there? Because nothing came out. It feels like someone coming back for like an interval performance. It was very classic, very well performed, very well written pop song, would go down well at Eurovision. It's just not the most exciting for me, and I'm never going to be particularly excited by this kind of like male guitar pop. We have heard this type of song pretty much every year at Melodifestivalen. It's very done, but it's a good version of done, and you know, it has just come after the craziness of Dolly style, the uniqueness of Greczula, the power pop of Klara, and the angst of Scarlet. That maybe it felt like a welcome reprieve to some, but for me, it just felt like a moment to grab a cup of tea, to go for a wee, to just have a breather before the excitement ramps back up again. So it was a nice interval, it was enjoyable, Erik did a good job. I wouldn't want Sweden to send this personally. Okay, moving past the halfway mark now, and we are moving on to song number 7, and that comes from Maja Ivarsson, and that song is Kamikaze Life. Interesting title, but what did the song sound like? Let's hit play. We're going back to the 80s. You know what? I like seeing someone who's not just like a 20-something youngster in this competition. This looks like he's got a matureness to it already. It's very Kids in America, Kim Wilde for me. That kind of like 80s synthy pop. This is fun. I don't know that it's particularly competitive, but it's fun. If you'd played this to me without this performance, I would have just assumed it was like a lost song from the 80s in Sweden that I'd never heard before.
Are you ready? Let's go!
I'm going to assume she's already like a known name in Sweden, because this doesn't feel like a performance of some newbie starting their career in Melodifestivalen. She's got a great stage presence. The backing track is doing a lot of work here as well, but this is a fun song. Not particularly current, but it's fun. Of course, a cute shade. Where is she? There she is. This is Cornelia Jacobs in 20 years' time. That wasn't wasn't my favourite so far. It was fun in like an 80s throwback kind of way. Maja is great. I'm sure she's been around for time because she's got the presence of an old school rocker. In isolation, away from this contest, I think I would enjoy this song. I don't think it feels particularly competitive in this final. I wasn't particularly excited by the song, but I'm like, thumbs up, good, enjoyed it. Certainly not a bad effort whatsoever. There just feels like better Eurovision ready entries than this. But it definitely brought a different vibe to the final. Again, something that I don't feel like I'd have expected Sweden to put through to the final. So I like that they're mixing this up. I'm getting different energies from every song in this final. And it's helping me to enjoy it a lot more than last year, where it felt like every song almost sounded like it had the same structure built in. This is different, this is unique, not one of my favourites, but it will have its fans and a welcome part of this final. See, that's me being nice. Right now we're moving on to song number 8. We've got another female. This is a very female heavy year, isn't it, to be fair, for Melodifestivalen. This is Meira Omar and the song is Hush Hush. I'm gonna keep quiet and press play. She's giving me sultry already. She's eye-fucking the camera. I want to feel the bunda bunda. Yeah! This is different from Sweden as well, like a kind of like Turkish / Bollywood influence. If you played this, I would not believe this was coming from Sweden, but this is right up my street. Love this staging. I feel like we saw something similar at the Norwegian national selection last year. This feels like what I used to love about like Greek and Turkish entries in the mid-2000s. Yeah! Really, really enjoying this. She's performing it really well as well. She's not overperforming it. It's got the right level of like sexiness about it. That she's not pushing every move. She's just kind of delivering it with ease. What a great part of the final. I will be listening to this all year. This makes me feel sexy just from listening to it. One of my favourites yet, and it didn't have to shout for my attention to do it. That was just right up my street.
You are right up my street.
Anyone who knows me and my Eurovision taste knows that I love me like a Salon always, Dum Tek Tek by Hadis, Kele Kele by Sirusho. Those late noughties kind of songs that felt like they had like that Turkish, and I guess this had like Bollywood influence as well. So up my street, and I love the way Meira delivered it. As I said, it was just sultry, it was sexy. She hit all the right vibes, delivered all the right energy, and that connected with me. I feel like they tend to go for songs that have like immediate winner energy, and I don't know if this does, but I really liked it. A really immediate pop song for me, which brought a different element that I'm not used to from Melodifestivalen. This is a keeper for me, and I hope we see Meira Omar again. I don't really know how she would top this, but this vibe that she's bringing to Melodifestivalen is immaculate. I loved that. Mia, mia, mia. Okay, we're moving on to song number 9 now, and it may be the one that you've been waiting for, or not, who knows. Probably the reason why Sweden are currently favourites to win this year's Eurovision. It is the return of 2015 Eurovision winner Zelmerlow. This is Revolution. I'm ready to see whether he's going to win Melodifestivalen again, whether I think he could win Eurovision again. This is Revolution. Let's hit play. Okay, the intro of this alone is immediately giving me Heroes. Ooh. It's definitely going for the same touches as Heroes, isn't it? And the whistles, the light country influence. Ooh. I don't know what I was expecting. It's not wowing me the way I thought it was going to. I was waiting for it to kick in with like a wow moment. Not yet. He is a great performer, like he is just very likeable. The piano kind of background is giving me that kind of like drum and bass inspired pop that we got from like John Newman. Ooh. Definitely liking this staging. I'm still yet to be wowed by the song. I feel like maybe my expectations were too high, but I'm like, come on. I mean, vocals, impeccable. Gotta hand it to him for that. He's got great vocals. This has come to a very great head. I can understand why Sweden would love this. It does have that kind of like feeling of it where you can imagine it closing the show at the end of Eurovision. I can see why people think this could win. I'm not loving it like a winner, but it does have an anthemic special vibe to it, and Mons is a star. Ladies, I am torn. On one hand, I do feel a little bit sorry for Mons. I feel like there was like a standard that he could never have cleared. I mean, he's coming back to try and win Eurovision again, just 2 years after Loreen did the same thing. So naturally people are kind of like, they're over Sweden, they don't want Sweden to win. Not me, I'm just talking the general public. So people are like, he's gonna have to really bring it to impress me. And this isn't one of my favourite songs. I've got to say that from the jump. There were at least like 4 songs I prefer to this already. I don't think this really got going for me until the final minute. The first 2 minutes I spent waiting for something super exciting to happen. He did give it to me in the end, and it closes off really well. But I don't think the whole song for 3 minutes particularly excites me. And I don't think the whole song for 3 minutes sounds like a winner. The last minute does. I can genuinely just imagine that as like the closing credits are rolling at the end of Eurovision. The confetti's flying. He's hitting his Jesus pose. He's hitting that final last note. It does have the ingredients that I can imagine being a winning moment. I just don't love the song as a whole package. From the beginning, I thought it sounded a little bit too similar to Heroes. And then there were things thrown in that I was like, oh, that reminds me of this song from 2014 or this song from 2015. So it doesn't feel super current to me. And it does feel like the sort of thing that people expect Sweden to send. And what I've witnessed from this year's Melodifestivalen is there is actually a lot of stuff here that is unexpected of them. So I would rather them send that than this. But I do think this does have a winner energy about it. I do agree. He performs it so well. Vocally, he's fantastic. He manages the stage so well. I've got to give it to him. He sold the shit out of this. I'm just left feeling like I wanted to like it more. So this won't be what I'm rooting for, but if Sweden do end up sending it, I definitely understand why. Maybe they could do it again. Maybe they could do it again. Okay, we're moving on to the final 3 songs now, and we're back to a newbie, somebody who's never been in the final before, or never been in Melodifestivalen before. This is Saga Ludvigsson, and the song is Hate You So Much. Very interesting to see what she is going to bring as a debut entry. Let's hit play. Okay, we're going country again. God, Sweden have got a boner for country music this year. I love her face already. She's performing this with the eyes. Not blowing my mind. This, again, sounds very what I would expect a Melodifestivalen country pop song to sound like. The staging for this is bad as well. She's great though, I really like the tone of her voice. One of the best vocalists I've heard so far. You know what, this is fun. I think in comparison to some of the previous 9 songs, it doesn't feel as competitive or professional. The Saga is selling the shit out of this and it is fun. My prediction, she's going to come back next year with a killer song that is a contender to win. You heard it here first. Great voice. She's nailing this vocally, and it doesn't sound like the backing track is doing it for her. It sounds like she's doing it. I really like her. Whether it's the best song or not, you're just like, this is cute. Bless her, that was sweet. That was a really good debut for Saga. I think the song is not the best we've heard in this run of finalists. I don't think it's taking as many chances. It does feel very what you would expect a country pop entry, to sound like at Melodifestivalen. And it's got all of like the haze, and the structure is very obvious. It's all very predictable. But the reason why I think this works is actually because Saga is great. She's just got a lovely smile on her face. She looks like she's enjoying every moment. She hit every note. And you can't help but have fun with her and be like, you know what, go girl. I'm happy she qualified just so that I could witness her. I like her. And I think she'll be back with a stronger entry next year. I don't think this is going to make much of a dent in the final. I don't think it's, going to cause any problems for any of the favourites. But it will be a fun moment for Saga. She definitely deserves this, and there is a star quality in her for sure. Right, we're moving on to the penultimate entry now. Just 2 more songs to go until you get to hear all of my opinions at once. But I've got Annika Wickihalder coming back again. She made the final last year, and here she is now with Life Again. What am I going to think? Let's find out. More inspirational lyrics here. Take me somewhere exciting, Annika. Surprise me. I found her entry last year to be quite unexciting. I'm finding this to be the same. She, again, very likeable though, loving the smile on her face and her expressions. Great voice, real natural power. Doesn't feel like she's stretching to hit those notes at all. She's just giving it slam very easily. It does have a vibrancy to it, a real positivity to it. I think I might like this more than last year. I would like to see more colour in this performance. Like, the whole lyricism to me feels very joyful and positive. The staging doesn't. I'm a bit over this. She's great though, to be fair with her. She is a vocalist, she's great. Shake them skirts, girls. Look, she did the best with that she could, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more colour. When I think about her singing about colours and falling in love, I don't think of like browns and reds and shaking my skirts. I think about like blues and yellows and like joy. The performance lacked the joy that the lyrics were trying to tell me that this song was about. This was the least enjoyable for me so far, and it just felt like the most sort of just like done before but done better entry, I would say. But Annika is very likeable, great vocals, like her. The song leaves a bit to be desired for me. Okay, now we're moving on to the very last song, and it is a song that I've seen quite a lot of hype for. I believe they are Finnish Swedes. The song is Bara, bada, bastu, and the song is by KAJ or Kaj. Excited to see what's closing out this year's Melodifestivalen. Could this be a winner? I'm about to find out. Loving the accordion. This already feels like it's being staged with a lot more fun than Sweden usually has. I'm not going to know what the lyrics are about, but it's nice to hear something not in English. This would be a welcome change of pace for Sweden, I have to say. This is a lot of fun. Sweden could really do with sending something this fun. The performers are really selling this with the right amount of like kitsch and camp that is needed as well. Loving the performance of this. This is just anthemic and fun and joyous. Something different for Sweden. If this is Måns' closest competition, I pick this. Remember when Moldova surprisingly did well in 2022? This has that kind of vibe. I could see the public really getting behind this. It's got a silliness to it, but the song is still great. Saunas. It's the accordion for me. Saunas. I really enjoyed that, and especially when you bear in mind that this is Sweden, it makes you enjoy this even more because this is so out of the box for them. They would never usually send something this fun, and they still probably won't. I mean, let's be real, it probably still will be Zelmerlow, but this is so much fun. It was sold with just the right amount of silliness, just the right amount of charisma. I love the accordion, I love the staging. This just felt different for Sweden. You're so used to them sending like a camera perfect light show where everything is so perfectly staged, that this had kind of like just a natural fun to it that you're not used to seeing from them. But it definitely didn't sacrifice a great song. Sweden would never send a song just for the sake of being silly if it wasn't a great song. And this very much is. You don't have to be able to speak Swedish or Finnish, I don't know what language this is in, to be able to sing along to this song. It's got a natural sing-along quality. It's got the sort of thing that's going to get the crowd absolutely screaming. The people watching at home are going to love this. It's just got the right amount of fun thrown into it. Sweden, I would like to encourage you to take a chance on this, and I think people would really love that. Just to break up the run of safe pop. This is not safe, but it's still bloody great pop. It's catchy, it's sauna, it's crazy, it's party. Take a chance on this, and I don't think you would regret it. This is a finalist for sure. So that brings me to the end of the 12 songs that I listened to, and I have to say this has been one of my favourite Melodifestivalens in a while. I felt like we actually got quite a variation of songs in this. It wasn't just, you know, the same song rewritten 12 times. You know, we had quite a bit of country pop, but then we had like your Queen style of Greczula, your 80s Kim Wilde vibe of Maja Ivarsson, you had a bit of like Turkish and Bollywood influence from Meira Omar, but I genuinely think this is a really strong final, one of the best that I've heard this year. What would my top 3 be? I'm gonna say that my third favourite was Meira Omar's Hush Hush. I've never heard a song that sultry for Sweden before, but it brought such a sexy energy that I was shaking my hips to the whole time. Dolly Style could be third as well. I really did like that song as well. I was yeehawing and screaming and yassing for that. I think they're maybe like joint third. For me, the second best would be Bara, bada, bastu by KAJ or Kaj. If that is the song that could beat Mons, I would love it to be. It was one of the songs that put the biggest smile on my face, probably that and Dolly Style. I thought the staging was fantastic. I love the accordion. Fun, 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 and it's what I would like to see Sweden do more. But my favourite, it has to be my queen Klara Hammarstrom with On and On and On. I didn't think she could beat Run to the Hills, and I don't know if this quite does, but it definitely comes close. A real dynamic pop song, delivered with real power, real oomph. But if there is one song from this Melodifestivalen that I am going to be playing on and on and on, it is this. Klara absolutely delivered. So if Sweden sent any of those 4 songs, I'd be happy. If they send Mons, I will be less happy, but I wouldn't blame them. I do think that has a winner potential, and he is great. You can't deny that. I'm certainly not about to jump on board the Mons hate train, because what a performer and what a performance. So those are my opinions. What do you think? We have 12 songs to get through there, and the final is on Saturday. So let me know down below, who do you want to win? Who do you think will win? Who do you think would do the best at Eurovision? I'm always happy to hear what you've got to say. And you Swedes, you know what you're talking about. But that's it from me now. I've got to get this video up before Saturday, so cross your fingers for me. Sending love to you in Sweden as ever. And with that being said, tusen tack and good night.